We back. It's another. Well, it's not even another. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been we've
A
had
couple months
break.
though.
It's been a couple of months. That's a
Yeah, it is a while.
in a podcast space.
It
That's a
is a while.
shitload, but we still don't have a name for it. It's just canon conversations.
Maybe we should call it Fat Bean.
Yeah,
Oh, that
what?
says Fat Beats.
Fat beats. Nah. Come on, you see.
Welcome to the Fat Bean.
No. For now, welcome to another conversation with myself and brother.
Yes.
We hope you guys have been good. It's another year, 2025.
Yeah.
A lot of
I think also the way that we treat this podcast is not how other podcasters treat their podcast.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
to churn it out so much. I think
Yes.
we meet up when we have something to discuss. And we feel like we want to discuss the music industry today and what is actually happening because I'm mad confused.
There's a
There's a lot going on.
What do you want to start with?
I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot going on in South Africa. I feel like there's a weird energy that's happening in the space. I feel like we don't have superstars anymore.
What do you mean? How?
I swear, like, I don't feel like they're there anymore. Like the way it was back then, back in the day, you'd go to a club and you'd be like, oh my God, he's there. Oh my God, he's there. Like, you'd feel the presence of, like, there's a star here right now. This KO, this Questa, it's Nadia Nakai, this fucking brother. You know what I mean? But I feel like now I can be in the club and there'll be like another artist and there will be no shaking. There will be no
But don't you feel like that started happening when Keenan was still here? Because I know what you're saying, but that started happening.
It couldn't happen when Keenan was still here because if he was in the club, you'd feel Keenan.
Yeah, you would still feel Keenan, but it wasn't that. It wasn't like also when Keenan had he's like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't, but I think because of what he was going through in that moment.
Yeah, whatever it was, I just think the industry just also started nurturing a lot of people. And is it piano that did that?
I personally
is it COVID that did it? I think it's a bunch of things.
I don't think it's COVID. How does COVID kill a superstar?
Because COVID literally strangled the industry, right? So people started not appearing anymore because we're not getting the bag.
Yeah.
But the piano artists didn't care, and they were always seen. They were just like, whatever, we're just gonna be in the streets.
I was saying that COVID. I think they just decided to be more successful.
I'm telling you, that's when it happened.
No, it's not.
That's when the takeover happened.
What do you mean?
That's what. Okay, listen.
COVID was tough. Right?
Was there a single hip hop party in COVID?
That's not about hip hop. I'm talking about the industry.
Yeah,
I'm saying stars in South Africa.
I'm making my point.
No, but your point doesn't make sense.
No, because I haven't landed.
It's got nothing to do with
Okay, landed and let me land.
Say to you,
landed.
Because being a superstar is not about what you are dropping this year. It's about what you've done.
No, I'm not talking about dropping, right?
I'm talking about dropping. You're saying COVID crippled an industry because COVID happened. COVID didn't disregard everything that superstar had done before COVID had happened.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So you're a superstar regardless of what you are.
Okay, now I'm saying no.
The Bonans,
the
Pro Speakers will always be stars because they were stars on SABC 1, 5, and it doesn't matter if COVID hits, there will be stars after COVID. You'll know those people's faces.
100%. So
that's what I'm talking about.
I agree, right? What I'm saying is COVID changed the landscape, right? It changed how we maneuvered, regardless of anything, right? So that changed the landscape of how you might view a superstar, right? Because again, the piano artists started becoming a little bit more accessible because why? The hip hop artists were gone, right? Because there were no bags, right? So the hip hop artists let the piano artists breathe a little bit, right? It's like fungus.
The piano
it's like, no, listen, huh? I'm just saying, picture it in your head. Okay. You know what I mean? You give it a little bit of warmth, you know what I mean? Give it some sunlight, give it some, you know what I mean? And it starts like multiplying, right? It starts multiplying. That's what hip hop artists did when COVID hit, right? So my point is many things contributed to what's happening now. Not just COVID, not just piano, not just this,
okay, can I tell you my opinion?
No, I haven't landed yet.
Oh my God, land.
Haven't landed yet.
Okay.
Haven't landed yet. So in doing that, not to say that now these hip hop artists aren't superstars anymore. You are 100% right. They will always be superstars. But even I started moving different because it's not the same anymore, right? And I have to kind of preserve what my superstardom is because it's worth something, right? But now COVID came, changed the landscape a bit, and allowed a piano guy to be a superstar but move differently than a hip hop artist and for it to be acceptable, right? So now people are going crazy over these piano artists as their superstars, right? But they're more used to being like this with their piano artists also because of the way they market themselves and the way they're in the streets like that. But as hip hop guys marketed ourselves a little bit different. So I think you're coming 100% right, but I think the landscape has just, the point of view has just changed a little bit where it's like, okay, hip hop guy, there's my favorite piano guy who I love and he's still a superstar, but he moves a bit different. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's no more superstars. I think what a superstar looks like might be a little bit different compared to it.
What
The last,
superstar?
yeah,
Tshego, what superstar do you know is too accessible? That actually is successful.
listen, I think Corey is a superstar. I think Kabza is a superstar. I think
I'm not saying who you think is a superstar. Accessibility doesn't
I'm
equate to being a
no,
superstar.
but listen, I'm telling you this. You said
Yo,
which, you
my
said which,
nigga, we need
you
to get to
said
the
you
point.
said
You're
which
gonna talk a
superstar?
lot.
You said which superstar?
I said what superstar is too accessible, not which.
I think Corey is too accessible. I think Kabza,
100%.
I
But
think
that's
Kabza
the
is too
point.
accessible. But that's my point. I'm saying what a superstar looks like right now is different because of many things. Because of piano, because of COVID. But what I'm saying is it depends which box you're looking at it from. If you're
You
looking
see,
at it
my
from a
problem
hip
is
hop
what you're
superstar,
saying,
it looks,
Tshego.
it looks.
You're not answering my question.
What's the question?
You're saying a lot that I don't even know how to tackle.
What's
you
the
now.
question?
What I said is that things don't shake anymore when there's an actual musician in the spaces that they're supposed to be in. You're saying a lot of nothing to me, honestly, because what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say to you is that it no longer feels when you walk into a space and there's a Pori there or Kadza there or Dani. The only person I feel that gives the superstar level right now is Foka when he's in the actual space. You'd be like, oh, that nigga's there. That's what I'm saying. Where it was us, babe, the hip hop guys back then, you would feel that they are in the club today.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What do you think needs to happen to get it back to?
I don't know, but what I
yeah.
can tell you what I might think the problem could be.
What
What the problem could be is that a lot of the Amapiano artists are churned out too quickly. You can't even attach yourself to them anymore. You can't say, okay, Ricky, you know Bianca, because you wanted to know everything about Ricky, not just his music. Whereas there's so many hip piano artists that are coming with a hit song and then they disappear. Then another one comes in and then they disappear. You like the fan can't even attach to the person other that's beyond the music.
Okay, so whose problem do you think that is in terms of these piano stars or these piano artists coming in as fast and leaving as fast? Whose problem?
I feel like it's actually the type of music that they're making. Because of the way that they churn it out so quickly. It's just like it's like instant gratification now. There's a song that I produced yesterday. It's out. It's a hit. There's a dance challenge now. Our attention span with TikTok has decreased, so we don't even listen to full songs anymore. But piano songs are 6 minutes. There's 19 people on it. I can't attach myself to this person. Then I've got a person that's Dali Wonga that sounds like Sir Trill. So when on the song, I'm like, is this Dali Wonga? Is this Sir Trill? Okay, don't know what's going on. Okay, you dating somebody. Can I know who you're dating? Like with what's happening with Foka and Paddy Cooper? There's something
What's happening with
they dating. So I'm like, my thing is that you become more of a superstar when there's more to talk about you other than the music.
Yeah.
I can be like, oh, Foka, okay, so now when Foka did Devon Gogo's choir Gogo event and he was dancing on stage with his ex-girlfriend, now we were like, what the hell? How does Puppy feel? Because that is what is called culture. It's called pop culture. I want to know more about you other than the music. But these piano guys are focusing just on the music and dropping songs and then the next song and then the next challenge. And then that's why Pori can get a star because Pori will be in a conversation with Tuli and there'll be something going on. He's having rants on social media. They want to know what's going on with Pori, what's happening. There's talkability. But where it then falls flat is when he's too accessible. He's doing 8 gigs a night. 8 gigs a night. I see you everywhere, babes. Like all the time, every weekend. Black coffee, I don't see you every weekend, babes. When you're in a club, it's an event. Because Black Coffee is a star. There's talkability around him with his divorce and what is going on in his life. And he's not in the club every day and he's not doing 8 clubs. Pori should be on the level of Black Coffee for me. I feel like that's how he should be moving. Kabza should be moving like Black Coffee for me. Because you are the pioneers of this industry. So if you guys are not doing it, how are the others going to be doing it?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear your
what I'm
point.
saying?
I hear exactly.
And that's what
you're
my
saying.
problem is. So now when I get into the club, the spaces don't shake with the celebrity status anymore because the clubs are filled with people I see every single day. And then on top of that, it's filled with like Nigerian parlors that are taking the spaces up in the club as well because they're buying bottles and shit.
Yeah, but
we don't know who the hell
Nadia,
you are.
yeah, you know,
don't know who you are.
you know what my problem with what you're saying is. You got points, but my problem with what you're saying is you're not thinking deeper about where these root causes could come from, because it's not just like I said from the beginning. It's not just one thing that changes an industry
I'm not saying it's one thing.
or changes a landscape or that forces these people to be dropping every day or every week. I'm pretty sure I guarantee you there's so many piano artists that wish they could drop once every 4, 5, 6 months. I'm sure there's so many of them that wish they could.
Yeah.
But because of what the landscape became, especially again during COVID, it became this monster. It became this monster that now is biting them in the ass, like you said.
Why
Right?
is it not biting us?
So, but you also have
We
no,
experienced
no,
COVID too.
no, hold on. It's not biting us because hip hop has, like you said, culture. Hip hop has this long standing culture even before it hit SA
Yeah.
and the way it hit SA.
Yeah.
And before piano came around, the way it did during COVID, we already had our systems in place as as hip hop artists. This is what we do, and relax. This is normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But piano, they kind of had to find themselves, and they found themselves in a very turbulent time. You know what I mean? Which forced them to do things like, "Hey, boy, no, hey, let's copy that song, and that song is hot right now. Let's release one, and boy, this one is hot. Let's do it." So it became culture for them, right? Which I also think bit them in the ass. You know what I mean? And I think you are right also when you talk about Kabza and Kori and the like pioneers saying that if anyone's gonna change anything,
It's it.
it's
It has to be
it's the
them.
guys at the top, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm also of the mind of if I was the top, I would be like, "Nigga, I don't give a fuck." So I also understand that part because am I willing to die for the culture? Am I willing to put my everything on the line? No. Some people, yeah, some people would be like, yeah, but some people are just like, dog, listen, I'm cool at the crib, making my beats, DJing and living a simple life. I'm really not that guy. So I think there's
I'm not saying that they have to do it.
yeah, no, of course.
I'm saying it would be nice if it was them that were
Of
doing
course.
it.
It would be fucking
Because it becomes so much trickier. Because now when I look at the landscape of what the industry is, not even like music, just like the people would be excited to see on a GQ cover and like, oh my God, this is when you made it here.
Waffles, right?
Yeah.
Waffles doesn't drop music every day.
Yeah, yeah. But Waffles
does it the way
yes,
the way you're
she
saying
does.
as a
And when
star,
she's in a
right?
space, it shakes. It 100% shakes.
Right?
But
So
I feel
there
like
are-
it's a hand.
Let me
Yes,
tell
I'm not
you
saying
that.
and it's a focalistic same thing.
Yeah.
Like I can feel when you say it, it does shake. But it's very few compared to when we were moving. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I'm just saying. Like, okay, great, there's 2 or 3 or 4. But like we had a lot of people that were running their lanes and doing so well and still had that superstardom that you'd want to know what's going on. And I know maybe a lot of it is stemmed in maybe the controversy of what you are. But that's the whole point of being a celebrity is that you are controversial. There's things that happen to you that we want to know about that might not be the best thing that we should know about, but it contributes to your superstardom. Kim Kardashian is all
That's another thing. That's another thing. Piano artists are not. They're not about that.
it's
Shit.
about that, and that's what I'm saying. That's
They're not about that shit.
and that's why it's about there's another piano artist that's training, and then I'm done with the other one because there's nothing making me attach myself.
And it's like, oh, are you the one singing on this song? But
No,
I don't know your
no,
face.
listen,
I don't know your face.
no,
No, I'm
it's
just
not
saying
about
that's what happens to them, right?
Yeah,
It's like I know your voice. I don't know your.
Tshego,
I don't know your face. Sorry, I'm just saying.
you're doing that to me a lot.
Ish, my
I
bad.
can't finish my poems.
And you have a lot of them, no?
No, I have one. I've just been trying to press you on what I'm trying to say. Is that like with the controversy of like, see now I've lost my train of thought. My nigga.
Come on. Come on. Okay, let me tell you. What you're trying to say is essentially more piano artists needs to be like Polka and what?
No. What I'm saying to you is that artists can't attach themselves to these piano artists because there's nothing more to them than the music. I don't want to know. Like, I don't know who you're dating. I don't know what drama you have. I don't know what pisses you off. I don't know what you like drinking. I don't know what clothes you enjoy. I don't know. Like, there's no influence for me from the artist per se. There's nothing. Like, I know you because I know you. I'm in the industry and I'll see you performing at Makuba Njalo. I'm like, oh, okay, who's that? Oh, is he on the song? Okay, cool. But there's nothing else around you that makes me want to feel like you're a part of pop culture in South Africa. And that's what contributes to being a superstar. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying with Pori, with the whole Thuli situation, that shit makes him a superstar because you want to know what's going on. He goes on a live, there's probably 5,000 people in there because they want to know what he's going to say, not just about what music he's about. You get what I'm saying? But none of them do that. None of them think about the bigger picture. They're dropping songs every single week and then getting upset when you're not getting put on. What have you done for your brand compared to Waffles?
But that's what I'm saying. I have to play devil's advocate and say, okay, you can't say all of them.
I'm not saying all of them. We're human. Everyone is subjective.
Yes. So it's not all of them. That's why I'm saying it's very
But if
important.
I mentioned Pori, I mentioned Polka, I mentioned, so I'm not saying all of them. They are there. I'm just saying like when I'm looking at the spaces, the people I expected to be doing it on the highest level are not.
Like who? Like who? Like who? Like who? Like who?
Like the niggas, bro.
Like the niggas, like the males specifically.
Well, you know, like I said now, like the way that Pori is moving, I feel like he shouldn't be moving, doing so many gigs in one night. I feel like he should be moving like how Black Coffee does. Like if Black Coffee has a gig at freaking Cabo Beach, it's it's an event that's happening, and I feel like Pori should be that. Like if Pori's at Cabo Beach, it's like, guys, Pori's at Cabo Beach. And I was like, Pori will be at Live, he'll be at Drama, he could be at Coco, he could be at Saints. Like he's moving like all the new DJs that are coming up the same way. And I feel like that's not helping the vibes of just being a star. You know?
I'm of the mind of like, I hear you, but I thought honestly, everyone must just do what they want to do.
I know, and I get you. I'm
You
not
know what I mean?
disagreeing
Like,
with that because it's subjected to what you want to be like. And there is a lot of factors that contribute to it. But I'm just saying that the way it's looking right now is crazy. And maybe because we're in hip hop or we're coming from the culture of it really is about like pushing consumerism in our music and being that star and causing drama, and because our culture in hip hop is like that. Maybe the piano culture is not like that, but I just don't get it. Because then what's exciting about the piano culture other than the music that they drop?
yeah, honestly, I think it's up to them, just like it was up to us as, the hip hop class. I think it's very much up to the piano guys to decide where they want their culture to go and what they want it to stand for. But it is a very new culture and it's still a baby, So
What is their culture?
they're building it right now.
But what, when you look at it, what would you say is their culture?
Dance.
Okay. Yeah.
Dance, pretty much dance music, right? Everything that comes with dance music culture, right?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much their culture. And I think they stole a lot. It's not even stole a lot, but borrowed a lot from the hip hop culture. Because a lot of them were in the hip hop space. A lot of them were hip hop DJs and hip hop artists. So that makes sense. So I think pop culture at this point in time, I think piano is grabbing just a lot from pop culture. Because the way it's spreading, I don't think you can say piano is just South African anymore.
No.
You know
It
what
is
I'm saying?
international.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
international. So even the international scene is adding to what piano culture is becoming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think piano culture is becoming like festivals. I think festivals is very piano. You know.
Is that culture though? Or is that the space
Yeah.
in which you experience the music?
Hip hop was not festival culture. Hip hop was more like underground,
Strip
dungy,
clubs,
like
club.
like closed off environments.
Yeah.
A very secret society type shit. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
But you
the
see,
opposite.
like when I'm saying culture, when I'm thinking culture, especially with hip hop, it's bad bitches. It's bitches fighting over niggas. These rappers going out on social media saying, that's my man. That's this. It's about the talkability around the people that are making the music. Like how it is with Kendrick and Drake. All that conversation, even with Rick Ross and Chris Brown getting involved, and Chris Brown saying to Quavo, I fucked your baby, mama, I fucked your girl, and all of that shit. Is
But
what
piano
makes
guys
it.
do that.
Do they? Am I missing
Yeah,
it? Because
yeah,
that's
you're
what I'm saying.
missing
It's
it.
what's missing for me.
I
because
think
I'm
that
not-
the most dramatic are the piano guys. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't.
And like I was saying
see
before
it.
we started, I was saying I think in the hip hop culture, between us, we are very nice with each other. We are
Hip-hop.
very hip hop. We are
Oh,
very
yeah, I
like
mean.
here.
Yeah.
We are very like our business acumen is like very like we know how to deal with each other. We might not always like each other, but
Yeah.
we know how to have conversations. We know how to send emails
Yeah.
between each other. We know how to be like, yo, can you handle this for me? Okay, yes. Okay, let me talk to your road manager. Let me get that sorted for you. Let me, we've had time to do that. But I feel like, yo, piano is like these guys are just next door neighbors that don't really love each other. And then,
Yeah.
they're throwing trash next door. And it's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? I think piano guys, they're more dramatic than hip hop guys right now.
So tell me what's going on at PC?
Oh, we're talking about the clip. We're talking about.
So I'm talking about
We
the clip,
don't.
like, I don't actually understand what's happening.
Yeah,
'Cause maybe I actually don't know what's
So,
happening.
so I actually don't understand what's happening too much, but
Yeah.
from a clip that I saw yesterday, um, he was clearly very disappointed at either the support that he was getting or lack thereof support that he was getting from certain Instagram accounts and certain artists that he's worked with. He never said which artist specifically, He didn't say any names, but he did say songs. You know what I mean? He did say the songs.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what's happening, but he did say this is his last piano EP, like if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah.
Happens.
Yeah, he's at his. He did say this he's leaving piano. He doesn't feel like the support amongst the culture of piano, I guess.
So
You
you
know?
not the support of the whole culture in him specifically.
He was talking about the artist. I don't know which artist he's talking about, but he mentioned the song.
Yeah.
He was talking about the artist team.
Yeah.
I don't know which team, but he's talking about the song. Yeah, he spoke about I think a publication that they run
Yeah.
online and how they don't support him when it's
Yeah.
time for for him to drop his own music. And he thought it was a family and that we could all support each other and blah 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 blah. And I mean, for me, it's interesting because from where we were standing, I think we're like, oh damn, the piano guys are really supporting them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Like it's like damn,
because they're collaborating so much.
yeah, they're collaborating so much. But I think you know the bigger the culture gets, the bigger the genre gets, I think they're gonna keep running into more and more of these problems because now it becomes about money, right? It becomes about branding. It becomes about, okay, listen, I did this for you, and you've got a big platform, or you're going over there to do 1, 2, and 3. Please plug me. The same way you've got a hit song with me on it, and it might be, and like you said earlier, you're like, okay, but what if there's 8 guys on the
Yeah.
song, right? Do you say, okay, I'm just gonna put the vocalist on, and I'm just gonna speak about the vocals, and I'm just gonna take the vocalist with me, or am I gonna take that one vocalist out of the 5 vocalists that are on
But
this
do you even
song?
have to take any vocalists on the song? Do you have to? Like, why is it?
Damn, Nadia, do you have to?
You don't have to.
But I mean, okay, let's look at it from a hip hop sense, right? We dropped more drugs together, right? Why would you constantly push more drugs and constantly push more drugs and do all these things around more drugs without involving me? Number one, because it's going to look more authentic. Number one, it's just going to look more authentic, right? It's the both of us on the song. And number two, because you have some type of love and respect for me through recording the song and having a song.
Always the case with everyone you collab.
You're at again, right?
Yeah.
Again, 100%. But what would you do if you had this hit record and you can see this thing is flying?
I hear you.
Right? It's not just another.
It's difficult to say the song that we did because we are close. So it's not like I want to make an example of, like, let's just say I found an uncut gem. That's not my friend. That's not my anything. Did this song together. This song took off. Of course, in the places that I can, I will rail you in. But if we're talking about I'm going overseas to Coachella and you're expecting to take you there on my bank account, that's crazy. But we can have a conversation.
It was that.
I don't know. I don't know.
But we
Like,
don't know.
we
Yeah.
don't know.
But we don't know.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
don't know. We don't know.
know.
But I don't think, yeah, but we don't know.
But you see what could happen is, okay, Shab, your management and my management says, hey, we're both in the same country at the same time. Can I pull up and be on stage with you?
Yeah,
100%
100%.
fire. But we also got fired at Global Citizen. Casper called us there backstage to perform Raga with him, and last minute he said, nah. And that wasn't even his song. He said, Cap.
What happened? What happened?
He called us to
You
Global
and Jim.
Citizen.
You and Jim.
Yeah, Jim was there. Weren't you there? He called us to Global Citizen and said,
And that seems to be the theme.
you see what I'm saying?
I'm not there. That's the beat.
Oh,
shit.
you mean, oh. Okay, shit, my bad. I don't mean that. But you know what I'm saying? Is like he said that, and pull up on the set. We're gonna jump on stage with him for Raga, and last minute decided no, he didn't want to, and that's not even his song. It's Gemini's song, but he has every right to decide last minute he doesn't want to, because at the end of the day, that is his set. That is where he's been booked. He has been booked for that, and because he once thought, okay, maybe I want to put my guys on, and last minute he's like, actually no, I want to do this alone.
He owes me loyalty to that.
Rights to do it, and he even did it on a song that wasn't even his. The owner was backstage with me. I was like this.
Wait, did he perform?
He did. He performed Raga. Yes.
And he just said, no, not with you guys.
You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. And unfortunately, you can't get upset because that actually is his moment.
I mean, you can be sour. You can be sour.
You can be
yeah,
disappointed.
Yeah,
you can be sour.
Yeah.
You can be like, at him, you can't be sour because at the end of the day, they didn't ask for the three of us. They asked for him to perform at Global Citizen. And if
but my nigga, you dragged me out here.
My nigga, and I didn't get to see Beyonce because that's leave. I didn't get to see it because backstage you couldn't see Beyonce clearly. It was just, but I mean, at the end of the day, it can be like, okay, disappointment, how, why did you let it get this far? I wish you decided it earlier. But also, as artists, when you get there and you see the crowd, it can change your decision. You can change your
Yeah.
scale.
Right then and there.
Right there.
Right then and there.
So things can happen. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like with PC, I don't really know the intrinsic issue of what's happening.
Mm.
But my thing is that because you did a song with a DJ
Mm.
and it became a big song, you're not entitled for them to push you on their platforms to take you to where they're taking their artists, because
Mm.
that platform is owned by the managers of that artist.
Mm.
So they don't have to, they're not obliged to, unless you say contractually, I'm going to give you a verse for free if you do or co-manage me.
Mm.
Because essentially that is her management.
So you're saying agreement. There needs to be an agreement
agreement.
of some sort.
100%. So if you're going to say, oh, you did this, this, and that, you shouldn't have done those things without having your things
In
that you
place.
wanted in place from the get-go.
Mm.
So you can actually have a leg to stand on, because now you're upset. Why are you upset? Why are you upset? And also there's like 19 niggas on songs. So the lady DJ must bring 19 people to Coachella. They wanted waffles. I mean, they wanted her. They wanted waffles. And I understand why you're disgruntled, because it's supposed to be a movement and everyone would chat and say, I mean, our movement was our movement.
Mm.
But I can't be upset that Casper
Mm.
didn't put me on that
Mm.
stage.
Mm.
Can't put me on that stage. It's
Mm.
fine.
Mm.
Because there's other stages. Maybe
Mm.
he'll put me on, whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, I need to work on how I'm going to get myself on that stage, because
Mhm.
Raga was very big for my career.
Yeah. It
That was
did a
for
lot.
myself.
Yeah. It
Did
did
a
a lot
lot.
for you.
And I need to be able to take Raga and make that into something for myself,
For
and not get
yourself.
upset because Casper didn't take me to Build the Citizen.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that.
I mean, the same way Gemini takes Hennessy and performs it even to
100%.
this day, and
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's focus in on this topic. Let's wrap this topic up and
Yeah.
focus in on this PC thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the fact that he feels like he wants to leave the piano community. Let's leave him being disgruntled about whichever artist he's talking about, right? Because he never said a name, but he said the song titles, right? How do you feel about the fact that he's like, yo, I'm done with this piano shit? Actually,
Yeah.
he's like,
I think it's disappointing if he's done because of this. Because I've seen him perform in Matiri and
he's
Tshego.
fucking dope, right? He's fucking
so
dope.
fucking dope, and he has such star potential. And
Mhm.
he's really great, but I think he's looking around too much and not focusing on where he wants to go and how he's going to get there. And I'm telling you right now, it's popular to support someone when they're popular. Unfortunately, that's what it is. They're not going to just support you because it's you and you do the song.
Mm.
Until you've started building a name for yourself,
Mm.
you'll see how much the whole country is going to support you. They're
Mm.
going to support you because they love supporting things that are already popular.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So if you're going to leave the industry because of how you're feeling about the situation, I think is very short-sighted, because you're doing a disservice to yourself, because
Yeah.
no one owes you anything, even support. No one owes you a like.
You know what?
Yeah.
I love that, right?
Yeah.
I love that. And I just want to say to PC, my nigga, I think out of all the piano niggas, I think you are definitely at the top of that list when it comes to acts that have potential to have a very serious brand, like a very serious marketable brand. You know, the way you dress, the way you move, the way you
Yeah.
perform,
Crazy.
your
energy.
voice, like
Yeah.
everything. I feel like Nadia said, you just need to focus on yourself now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just need to focus on yourself. And you know, he said something else. Clip that I saw, he was talking about how he was also just very upset about how he's like, yo, all us piano artists are all in apartments. When are we gonna get our first houses? When are we gonna buy our first houses? At 35. And I'm just like, okay, my nigga, listen. At the same time, like, we're not in the States, okay? We're not in the States. Money doesn't flow in South Africa like that, especially for an artist, right? I think that's an issue that we need to bring up with our government, first and foremost, because no one has those answers, right?
No.
We went through that shit. It was a long time before we could buy our first houses.
Yeah.
Like, it was a long fucking time. And I think at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, if you're a musician, why are you here? Like,
Right.
what do you
But
do
when
this
he's
for?
asking that question, who's he blaming?
That's what,
Kind of feels
that's
like he's
my
blaming
point. That's my point. So you have to ask yourself,
Yeah.
why am I here? Is this enough for me? Am I fulfilled in what I'm doing? Am I okay being in this apartment, jumping on stage every weekend, being able to pay my bills, eat the food that I need to eat, you know, be okay? Or
Yeah.
is this too little? Do I need to go be doing something else? Because there are other jobs you can do to get there.
Yeah, but that's not what we want to do, though. We
But-
want it to be
but-
what we make, what we enjoy.
100%.
And it should be, though. It should be like that.
Well, in the perfect world, yes, it should.
We did it.
But
Still,
but guess what? There's hundreds of thousands of other artists that'll never make it to where we.
100%, but he
he's
could.
but now we're talking for the industry, because he was
Yeah.
talking about like, yo, There's all of us. We're in apartments. I bump into new artists.
Yeah.
With every week I bump into niggas moving in apartments every week, right?
Yeah.
But we went to that same shit. Hip hop artists, we were fucking by at the apartments too. And I'm sure there's still a lot at apartments, and there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong.
I think you should just ask yourself, like, hey, listen, am I okay being here doing what I'm doing? Am I fulfilled by this? Is it enough? Okay, it's not enough. What am I gonna do now to make this enough? Do I need to get a side hustle? Do I need to move things around and add to my brand? Do I need to go knock on other doors? Do I need to add something to my team to open the door for a new, you know what I mean? Because not everyone can make it to a Durban Go-Go level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not everyone can make it to a Black Coffee or Pori or Kabza. But there is room for everyone to pay their bills.
Yeah.
And to live as a normal human being and just be happy in their gift and being able to do their gift. You know what I mean? There's the spiritual aspect.
Yeah.
Then there's the, okay, how do I want to live?
Yeah.
And honestly, if you counting your coins like, oh, this is not how I'm trying to live, make a plan.
Yeah.
Or make a plan. There's nothing.
Make a
plan or make a plan.
Exit the chat.
Or exit the chat. There's so many other things you can do that might get you that house faster. But this is part of being a musician.
I hear you, especially in South Africa.
Listen.
Especially in South Africa. And that's my thing is that like when I talk about like PC, I hear what you're saying. Like it's either he makes another plan, whatever the case is. But PC is such a bubbling.
He can do it. Like he can
do it.
He can absolutely do it. He can absolutely.
But you see, that's where my problem lies is the people that are actually the pioneers of this might be gatekeeping it for the new acts to actually rise to the top. Because these promoters, you know how they are. If they're getting quoted a certain price, they're not trying to talk to nobody else.
Yeah, you can't really muscle.
You can't muscle. So therefore, I'm not seeing PC performing all over the country. I'm not seeing him at all these festivals. And the festivals have dwindled compared to what it was.
Do you think?
But I'm not seeing him in the places because if they're talking to PC and PC is charging this amount and Pori's only charging like 3 or 4 more than this person, they're gonna say, "Aye, let me just get Pori."
Which is my next question.
Which is a problem.
Do you think that's the case? While you not seeing him around as much as you'd like to see him, do you think that's him refusing the gigs?
No, I don't.
And saying, nah, it's too little?
No. Well, yes, I'm sure it gets to that point.
Yeah.
I think the promoters are not even trying to give him what he should be getting.
Because they can get this guy anyway.
That's already serving a lower moment when it comes to the coins. That's what I'm saying.
I don't lie. Hip hop did that really well. Hip hop really did that well. We kept our standards.
We
really
did.
Well.
And we would do favors here and there. We would just subsidize here and there.
Yeah.
But essentially.
But a favor for you is not a favor for promoter.
100%.
You get what I'm saying? A favor for you is not a favor for promoter.
Exactly.
Not doing a promoter a favor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now the promoters are even coming to us and saying, I only have what?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Hey, but this guy does it anyway.
Person he does it anyway. And I understand like you want to be everywhere. I get it. But I feel like to a certain extent, those two guys are actually killing the other guys from being able to buy a house one day. Honestly, because it's like, okay, then there's also a lot of difficulty with dealing with brands and these guys, or even running the radio runs and interviews. They don't show up. Now you're taking 8 gigs because you're charging 4K a gig. So now you need to make it stack up so that it makes sense a day. You get there exhausted. Your road manager hasn't quantified how long it takes to get from one gig to the other. So therefore you're late. There's so much drama that's in there, but you're also now forced to take 1 million gigs because the money that you're accepting now, because you want to be in those spaces. You want to be on those stages.
Now you're in the clubbing industry.
100%. You want to be on those stages, but now you have to accept that money because if you don't, you're going to say, no, it's fine. We'll get this DJ. He's bigger. He's got a bigger brand. People love seeing him. And also he's going to play your songs. So thanks. You know what I mean? Whereas back then, you needed the artist of that song on stage.
Yeah.
Because there's no way DJ Capital can play my song and that can just suffice.
Yeah.
But in the piano industry, the DJs can play your song and it can suffice. They can be okay with that. I don't actually need that artist there. Why am I not seeing Fabi Cooper in the spaces that we were in?
COVID. See,
oh my God,
that's COVID.
COVID.
That's what. Let me land on
fine,
this, right?
okay.
You made such a beautiful point, right?
Okay.
You know how it became that DJs could play artist songs without them being there? COVID, because now the club owners realized, you know what? People just want to be outside.
Yeah.
And all they want is music playing. And who's going to play this music? The DJs. You know what? I don't have budget for an artist to come perform. Why do I need to pay you 20K to come do 10 minutes when I can pay the DJ to play your song 3K? It's over. And then they were like, aha. That's another way in which COVID came and just literally
But you're saying
turned.
COVID took
I know. I'm saying it's one arm. I'm not saying it's first. I think it's one pillar.
Okay, I'm
It's
not saying
one pillar.
one
And,
part of
and
it.
that's you see, that's the answer to, yo, these DJs now are famous for playing other people's songs. Why? Because the venues don't want to pay the artists their full rate to come and perform your song. You must come with your road manager, your manager, your dancers. No, listen, this DJ comes one night.
You see,
100%.
it used to be worth it because you wanted that superstar level in the club. So you
Yes.
would pay back then.
Yes.
That's
So
what
now
we
we must blame the club owners now as well, because
100%,
it's
there's
the
no
club owner,
problem.
the festival guys, their
Yeah.
budgets, but now they're gonna blame the brands. Now the brands, now the brands are gonna say economy. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real, serious economy is not bad. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
You
I
understand?
hear you.
So it's many.
But there's
so many
many
things.
facets. I 100%
Yeah.
agree with you. There's many facets, but my thing is
But
just
you're
like
saying superstar.
the superstar level. Because my thing is that when you're getting an artist to be on that stage, you might get them on that stage because of the one hit song that they have, but they will perform their whole catalog and it will suffice because the fans just want to see Questa. They just want to see Questa. Like, he's going to perform his new song 1,000,000 times. But now that superstar level's been removed from everything. So now it's like, okay, I don't need to get the artist yet because really the fans are not even connecting with the artist anymore more than the music. So therefore, if it's just about the music, let me get a DJ.
Yeah.
And that's what my problem is.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming from the superstar level of movement. You know what I mean? I used to push one song, even you used to
Yeah,
push
one
two
song-
songs a year.
Yeah.
And would be gigging the whole of December, like
Those were the good
moving.
days. Yeah.
100%.
Those
Because
were
they
good
wanted to
days.
see us.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
knew our songs. I know
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
wanted to club, Nadia Nakai wanted to club,
Yeah.
shag, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we had that superstar level. That thing.
But
in
guys, it
our
doesn't
songs
cost money to be a superstar.
doesn't.
It doesn't cost money to
It
be a
really
superstar at
doesn't.
all. It's just the aura. You know
The
what I mean?
aura,
It's knowing
the
your value.
ambiance,
Knowing your value.
Right now,
Yeah.
Diamond Platinums. I don't know one song except that Don that he dropped.
But he's a
Yeah,
star.
but he's a star. When he walks in,
Yeah, he's a
you
star.
know that that's a
Yeah,
star. Even
yeah.
though maybe everything might be fake out of him.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like when Diamond Platinums walks into this room,
Yeah, you're gonna
you
feel it.
feel him. You want to know a song. And you'll book him because of how he's going to make people feel when they see him on stage. But now with the DJs, they doing that. They're not giving me
The aura. Okay,
Yeah,
I hear you.
that
So you're saying they're
extra.
occupying the space, but
Yes.
without the aura
Without the aura
that
they're
comes
giving
with.
me.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I feel is like killing the whole vibes because that aura is what would be exciting to see this person on the cover of Cosmopolitan. Yes, the magazines have dwindled when they died. But like seeing them, okay, even TV shows now, even radio interviews. Before, you'd want to listen to a radio interview because your favorite artist is on there now. It's just like, really?
So you're not mad at the DJs. You're just saying more aura.
I mean, I'm not mad at the
You're not mad at
I'm
the
not mad at
DJs
DJs,
getting
but there needs to
the
be
shine and
100%.
yeah, but you just saying the aura.
Yes, the aura. Like, think about the music, but don't forget the pop culture element of it. Like, my nigga, right now I'm busy thinking, actually, I need to cause some drama on social media. I just need to
Just
get that. Just a little bit to like, right? A little bit because, you know, I've got a reality show coming out. I need that. Because there needs to be more talkability than music. You need to know what's going on with me. Like, what's happening? Okay, now they want to know who I'm dating or who's this guy that she's with now. You know, there was a picture of me and Dali Wonga. I left a shit fun. Nothing's ever me and Dali. That is like family. But they were like, Nadia, oh, these look like they've seen each other in the sheets. I said, let it run.
Let it run.
I got shit I need to push here.
Let it run.
I got things I need to do. I want them to think about me more than the music.
Yeah.
That's what made you a star. And that's what I was saying.
Okay, I think we hit everything. Do you wanna talk about the music now or the next episode?
I think this was the music episode.
We can always edit. We can do what we
We
want.
can always just mix it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cool. I think this was a dope episode. Don't hate us, guys. Listen,
Don't hate us. It's all love.
It's all love. Don't hate us, guys.
But if you want to find me on social media, help me because that's the
yeah,
superstar
she
element.
loves that shit.
I'm kidding.
You saw how she was
I'm
frying me in the beginning of this thing. Yeah?
I'm kidding. Yeah, but
So-
we fry each other.
You know what I mean? I don't fry Nadia like she fries me.
You
at
do.
all. At
You
all.
do. Are you joking? The
At
last episode we
all.
did, I was talking about niggas ghosting and shit. You
But softly.
cried
I do it so
me.
softly. I'm such a soft crier.
You don't, you know, guys, he made me cry and he thinks it's soft. I've never made you cry.
No, but back
You
then I
made
used to
me
be.
cry.
Yeah, back then I used to be crazy. Yeah, back then I used to be that.
No, but you didn't even make me like with that in your softness.
Anyways,
in your softness.
guys,
You made me cry. So
We'll
please.
see you on the next episode of We Don't Know What the hell this is yet, and we need to run a poll. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna run a couple of
I'm playing
polls.
Fat Bean.
Fat bean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds so wrong. That's
Fat
pause. A fat bean, but
Pause.
fat bean. But yeah, that might be. Hey man, that's crazy enough to be dope.
Welcome to the Fat Bean Podcast.
The Fat Bean Podcast is crazy. We need a plushie like a fat bean.
Yes,
yes, 100%. Okay, the Fat Bean Podcast. We're just gonna run with it. Okay. All right.
No, let's think about
We'll
it.
see you guys on the next episode. No.
Boy,
Sharp.
let's think about it for real.
But I like that. I like that.
Crazy enough to be